of me cheating on my ex-girlfriend. The reason I got up here to talk to you, and am I airing this in front of 1.3 thousand people?
How about you and I? If you've
no. Please let me speak. Please, no. I'm begging you to let me speak. I'm begging you because I've heard this twice now on the live. Right? I dated a girl for over roughly 5 years.
Related to me and Sarah.
I understand.
This is literally not related to what we're talking about, Chris. If you want me to go live right now myself, I'll go live right now.
I'm more than happy.
Does this have anything to do with Carly and Sarah?
Yes, it will. But I would like to address one thing first for my sake.
The answer is no.
Wow. Okay. So
can I ask real quick? Just real quick. Carly and Sarah, are you okay with Chris centering himself at the moment?
Hold on, Carly and Sarah, please, I understand. If you could just give me 20, it's really, Carly and Sarah or anyone else, if you have any faith in me, could you just give me like 30 seconds? Because really,
I don't know if I have faith in you.
I understand that, but this is.
You called me insane on fucking live.
Can I just speak for more than 30 seconds? Please.
And then also you said where I live.
I'm begging.
I'm just not sure why anyone should have any faith in you.
Okay, and I understand, and I understand that, but I want to just say one thing briefly so I can get it out of the way, and then we can talk about this, okay? Please. Because this actually doesn't relate to me. It has nothing to do with me. It's actually about another woman, right, that I deeply care about, okay? I dated...
Really no screenshots of a compromise.
Irish, can I please speak?
Sure, did you hear what I just said, though?
Yes, I'm going to...
Okay, so continue.
The screenshots that you're referring to, and we can talk about this in the entire sense of the word, is screenshots that have floated around in Discord about me cheating on a girlfriend that I had for roughly 5 years. Part of the problem, I think, with these conversations online is that we're taking out a lot of, obviously, how do I phrase this? The screenshots that my understanding that were going to be released up here, I have a lot of respect for my ex-girlfriend, and she has a lot of respect for me. And she's been through a lot of really hard mental health things, and we solved a lot of the really hard things about our relationship in private, and people are now taking that and misconstruing it. She's actually spoken publicly and said that, quote, Chris didn't cheat on me, but because of this conversation and the screenshots that are being shared, she's being dragged back into it after she's worked really, really hard. I don't talk to her anymore, but my understanding is that she's worked really, really hard to help her mental health after going through a lot of really hard things. And so again,
that's really horrible.
Yeah, I know it's horrible, right? And you're part of it.
What does that have to do with this live?
Yeah, no one was going to share anything.
Yeah, that's a lie. I know that to be a lie. You're lying. And that's fine.
We're not.
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Fantastic.
Hold on. You're going to call me a liar? You don't even fucking, first off, you don't even fucking know me.
I do know you and I know Irish. I know both of you. I know Irish has the screenshots. That's what he was going to release, right? I'm not dumb, right? We know these things. Now, back to the,
you are actually dumb because
fantastic.
I had the entire outline of what was going to go on today.
Okay,
and there was nothing about you.
Okay.
Thank you, Amy.
So I don't know why
fantastic.
you're
Now that it's over, we can talk about the actual issue here.
But
people like you having a platform is the actual issue here.
Why?
Irish was
because people like you should not be leading anything on the left. And if you allegedly know who I am and what I stand for, people like you that have never suffered anything, any sort of marginalization, should not be talking about marginalized groups. You want to come up here? You want the smoke? Here you have it. You came here to center yourself. You're doing exactly what every cis-het white man does on this app. Okay? Yes, okay. Little boy.
I came on here. I came on here in a desperate
to center yourself.
Can I speak?
No, you came on here to center yourself.
No,
this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like to be put in your place. How's that feel?
Chris, can I ask you a question, Chris?
Oh, if you don't mind, Irish, I actually got to drop down, and Chris, just hold on a second. Thank you. I've got to drop down. Thank you, Carly and Sarah, for sharing your story. Thank you, Alina, for hosting this, especially for as long as you did. Sorry to any friendlies that I may have muted in the comments. If you said anything that was slightly insensitive, I did mute immediately, and I gave everybody fair warning before I did. I said it multiple times in the comments. If you say anything insensitive, you get muted. So sorry, not sorry. Careful what you say before you type it out. I did shoot both y'all a follow, and be sure to definitely come and hang out with Alina. Alina needs to be having this number of viewers on a nightly basis. I don't understand why we are now getting 1.9 thousand. Like, really? 1,900 viewers now? What? Because
We'll be
Chris
here,
is
trust
here?
me.
Like, no, sorry, not sorry, but so and guys, be sure to subscribe. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, Alina does this on a daily
Not you
basis,
modding.
and she's awesome. See what?
And we do it for the kittens.
Do it for the kittens. Yep, that's right. And check out the links in her bio
Chris,
because
I
she
have a
does foster.
genuine. I have a genuine.
Did you have a question for me?
Yeah, I have a genuine question
Wait,
for Chris.
quick.
What about this live was
Yeah,
about
so
you?
so that's actually what I was going to reference the host to. Again, like, but like I know that like we're all just like online in front of 2,000 people, but there's like my understanding of, again, and I you guys can say whatever you want to say, that's fine, but Irish was making threats about releasing screenshots that I think would do serious damage to somebody I care a lot about and who is
Can I
just being
talk about
dragged
that,
into
Chris?
this. No, wait.
Sure, go ahead.
Quickly. Again, to the host point, I don't like, you think I'm up here because I like am trying to like win some PR battle. Obviously this is doing nothing good for me.
Oh
It's
no,
just,
sweetheart! Like if you actually had a PR team, like this would have handled so differently. And I highly recommend that you guys consult a PR team before you continue this platform in any form.
I understand, but I'm just telling you.
Hit up Palette.
I'm just telling you the only reason that I'm up here is because screenshots were going to be shared that I think were really false and damaging to another woman that I care about a lot, who's being dragged into this by the internet, by these platforms, and she doesn't deserve it.
Great. So can I respond to that?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Great. So your concern is that I am in possession of personal material.
What
that could be
screenshots were you in
harmful.
possession of? What screenshots were you in possession of that were mine?
I was patient, if you could do the same courtesy.
Well, I also think it's just generally abusive to be sharing so much private information around.
I can
That's
help
a
you.
wild
I can help you.
abuse
I can help
method.
you be quiet. So
Lena, just quick,
what-
I have to join back on my phone. I'm gonna drop and join
Sure.
my phone.
Okay, I'll leave this spot open for you.
So your concern is that I would be sharing information that is personal in nature that could be harmful to women, and you want to protect.
To a woman I care about that
Yeah, I
is
understand.
directly related to me.
I understand. My question for you is why do you only care about the women who can do something for you, and not the women who you shit upon when you went live and you talked about? I'm sorry, you seem to have your mouth open while mine is. Just wait one moment, sweetheart. Yeah. So I'm just a little confused. Why are you up here performatively the same way Harry was? Harry was saying these women are crazy lunatics who are endangering my girlfriend by schmuxing them, and showed a lot of concern for his person at that time while being disrespectful to a whole bunch of other women. And now you seem to be up here saying, I got to protect mine, yet you had no problem shitting on a whole bunch of other women who you are not personally invested in. Can you just explain that contradiction?
Sure. So a couple things. You asked, like, I came up here and you asked me specifically to stay on topic. And then I said I was going to get off topic because I needed to address like something. And all of you actively said that you didn't want to hear from me. You wanted to hear from Harry, right? So I came up here with my vested interest around the woman who is being dragged into this, who has worked on her mental health a lot, and screenshots that were going to be shared that I didn't think were appropriate to share. I didn't say, and that is unrelated to the topic you're bringing up about why I think it's
What was the
acceptable to
question I
text
asked
my
you,
name.
Chris? I feel like you didn't hear it.
Hold on. You asked me why I'm doing something in why I'm coming up here trying to do something when a woman has a vested interest, or I have a vested interest.
I'm gonna mute you because you didn't hear my question. I'll ask again. It seems kind of disingenuous and performative and kind of selfish that you're up here claiming that you're here to protect the mental health and reputation of one woman, while you
calling me a
also
liar.
held a live where you accused, and because you did it vaguely, you accused a dozen women
Yes.
of you saying that you're going to go scorched earth and decide to tell everyone that they're sending nudes to multiple people. And I'm just curious, is it only the women you're sleeping with whose mental health you care about? Or is it women's mental health in general that you care about?
I'm not, first of all, I think that
You understand the question, though?
Yeah, I do, if you'd let me
Okay.
speak.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So again, I don't think that like this dialogue is particularly productive. Number one.
Oh, I agree. You could have
you
DM'd
joined
me,
up.
right, Chris?
Yeah, you joined up.
Did you DM me,
chose to
Chris?
center yourself. Like nobody was talking about you.
No, because I'm not. I understand.
Did you
Irish,
DM me privately to ask what I was going to do, what I had, to express any concerns?
I'm more than. Can I just try to answer?
I'm not, just for the record, did you
Like,
DM me at any point?
No, because I heard on live you say out loud twice that you were prepared to release screenshots. So I'm here.
If you continued
Right, so I'm not going to take. So again, I'm not going to
on,
again. I'm not going to take I'm not going to accept somebody else in my life being dragged into something that doesn't have anything to do with them because of veiled threats on the internet.
Dragging in other women to protect yourself.
Irish, can you take any accountability for the fact that I'm just simply up here?
I'm not talking about accountability. We're not doing it.
Can I say one thing to Chris?
No, I think that this again. I really think that this dialogue is unproductive.
that's not how.
Then
this
you can
works,
leave.
friend.
The dialogue that you created.
My issue with
You're not engaging on my dialogue.
Chris, I'm speaking, right? So my issue is that I've had conversations with you about my mental health, my sobriety, my depression, right? So why are you up here saying that someone else's mental health that you care about is being dragged into it when I'm being posted on the New York Post claimed as a self-proclaimed domestic abuse survivor? Like, you don't care about mental health.
Wait, whoa. I'm not, hold on.
Wait, who told you to unmute?
She asked me a question?
She wasn't done.
You just don't care. And to Irish's point, like, it's not, you don't care about women in general. You just care about specific people that you care about. So don't come up here and be like, this one person that I care about, their emotions, their feelings. Do you know how many people have been, like, me, Carly, personally posted on so many different, like, sites, articles? Do you know how much that affects my mental health?
Yes, and I'm deeply sorry. I am. I'm sorry that's happening. I understand what you're saying, and genuinely, from a mental health perspective, I can only imagine that is incredibly difficult. I don't like the assumption that Sorry, I got a phone call. I don't like the assumption that I don't care. I'm not, you're asking me, like, sorry, I'm like frozen. The relation to you and other people being posted in the New York Post and this whole thing happening is entirely separate from Irish. Just for a second, let me finish. From my understanding that screenshots were going to be leaked, relating to my ex-girlfriend, and I really, really felt like because of all the things, because of our personal relationship that we already settled, she didn't deserve to be dragged into that. I'm not trying to come up here and say that is more valid than any of the things that anyone else up here is going through. I'm just saying that I felt like the best way to get a handle on that was to just come up here and flat out say it.
So
did you think about just DMing me?
Irish.
No, I
You
didn't.
were not, this entire live is talking about your best friend's behavior and how shit it is to women. And you know that, and you backed that up. You fully sat there.
I haven't said anything.
And then tells us not to run because I said I am not going to sit here and have my identity shit on once again by someone who's not involved in my story.
Carly, I'm more than that. These discussions are obviously going to continue. I want to be clear. I got up on this live because I think essentially extorting me by leveraging compromising photos relating to my life by Irish
Don't
in his
use
group,
words you
I
don't
thought
understand.
was
Get
fucked
off
up.
the
No,
channel.
I actually don't. And number two, Carly, I said, Carly, that's number one. Number two,
My name's
I said, don't run because you said that you were uncomfortable with me being up here because I knew what state you lived in, and I didn't feel like that was really fair to, how, I don't think that's
the state I live in, actually. It's not that
you
know it.
you DM'd me telling me where you are.
But you said it was
Hang on,
live.
I'm
gonna pause this for a second, guys, because I think
I've never
just
said
one moment?
where you live.
Can I
I
just
have a
interrupt for
video
just
of
one
that.
moment? I just want to interrupt for just one moment.
Damn it,
Chris is
Irish.
now under.
We
So
don't censor
disingenuous
men
and
here.
absurd.
We
So
don't censor men.
disingenuous
Why
and
are we
absurd.
doing this?
So disingenuous and absurd.
Chris, you
So
sound
disingenuous.
stupid. You literally
I didn't want to be
said that. You
I didn't want to be
literally
leveraged
said
for
it
compromising.
on live. It's
I have a screen recording, Chris.
I didn't want to be compromised for leverage. I didn't want to be leveraged for compromising photos.
I'm sorry. I've been quiet this whole time. Instead of reckoning with your own role in sharing nudes or choosing to cause harm, you are choosing to center yourself, play victim, and uphold the same misogyny that allowed this whole harm to happen in the first place. This is a master class in hypocrisy, and it's not integrity. Respectfully, you came up on this panel to victimize yourself, which is why it is incredibly harmful for cishet white men to have such a huge platform like you, because you are reckless. No, I'm not done. You are reckless. You are reckless. And it's showing right now that you are reckless. You have not done the actual due diligence of deconstructing your internalized racism, your internalized misogyny, all these other isms that have continued to benefit you. Instead, you have chosen to prop yourself up as this hero of marginalized people. And now we are looking at, look at the result of it. You are literally reckless. You came up here. Instead of holding yourself accountable, decided to center yourself, play victim, scream and rant and talk over all the women here. Boys will be boys, right, Chris? Boys will be boys, right?
You've actually put your ex in more harm by coming up here and centering yourself. Because I had no idea that any of this was a thing. Okay. And now you've said it to 2,000 people.
So a couple things. I understand what you're saying. Being misled by Harry does not excuse what you're currently doing, which is extorting me by leveraging compromising photos and pictures of my ex-girlfriend in a situation that you don't understand. That's why I'm here.
I'm going
right? Very simple.
Say that we're not doing that.
Somebody did that
Very
here.
simple. Right? Irish did it. It's been done in Discord. Irish
It's one thing if you're talking about Irish, but I don't want all of the women to get heat on this.
You're maligning the women
I understand.
Again.
So fantastic. Then I'm going to leave. Irish said on live 2 days ago he had the photos of me quote unquote cheating. He said that 2 days ago. He's lying out of his mouth. I have the screen recording. I didn't want to get into this. I'm just begging you not to drag other people in my relationship and fucking have, again, on live, be threatening, exposing these photos that you don't understand, dragging somebody in who's been through hell. We're in a good place, me and her. And Irish said he was going to do it. It's not about, okay, fantastic.
You're doing that now in front of 2.4 people.
Message Irish. If you really have that big of a problem with it, message Irish. This entire live, nothing was about you. And you came in here and a group full of women talking about their experience with your best friend that you back up and you sat next to in a live and defended. And then you're going to come in this live and make this about you.
He's doing it here. If you actually genuinely care about this person, you would not have talked about them. He's gone, by the way. That's why he's probably the screen is on teacup. But if this person actually cared about her, he would not have brought her up in front of 2.5K people. Right. You bringing her up right now in front of 2.5K people is actually putting her in more danger. So you don't actually genuinely care about her.
They reported Irish.
Of course they did.
Athena, I just want to say that's the perfect example of what Harry did when he said we were doxing his girlfriend. They come up and they try to say that we're harming other women when we have nothing to do with that.
No, and they do that in order